great war, the carnage has caused long-forgotten dark gods of ancient power to begin to awaken. Those touched by these old ones have formed rival cults and now move amongst an unsuspecting world preparing for their master's return. Welcome to Mythos. And now, dear listener, let me tell you something about the Path of Chronozon. It is a great and noble thing to devote a life to the pursuit of knowledge. Some are obsessed with knowledge for its own sake and push the boundaries of understanding within their chosen field of study. However, there are those who seek the power to dominate others through their knowledge. Chester Behrman is a man such as that. Even in his youth, Chester had an interest in history, more specifically in ancient civilizations and their religions. He was fascinated by the various interconnected beliefs of people across the globe, stretching as far back as the written word, hieroglyphs, or even cave paintings allowed. It was only as his studies matured that he realized he was at the beginning of a very dangerous path. A path defined by a single word: Chronozon. Chronozon is the dweller in the abyss. The demon of time and chaos was said to be the last great obstacle between the adept and enlightenment. Behrman knew in that moment that he couldn't just know more about Chronozon. He had to know everything. The young scholar's obsession with this powerful demon became all-encompassing, and acts that would have been abhorrent to him only months earlier were now acceptable in his journey down the path. The sacrifice of his sanity was so subtle that Chester was not even aware that he had crossed the line. It became the norm for him to barely recognize his own reflection, instead seeing Chronozon staring back through dark, soulless eyes. As Chronozon's mark settled on him, Behrman became more strong-willed and charismatic than ever before. His sanity returned for periods of time long enough to attract followers and instruct them in the way of the demon, though at times the abyss walks free of Behrman's soul and manifests itself in terrible glory. Led by Behrman's protégé Lydia Heron, the followers of the path wear masks bearing the symbol of the abyss, all the better to purge their own identity. Behrman has taught them that Chronozon's function is to destroy the ego, which allows the adept to move beyond the abyss of occult cosmology. Chester has refined a ritual that allows, through a sacrifice of a servant's lucidity, a spawn of Chronozon to be brought through to this reality. This demon of dispersion recognizes Chronozon's mark on Behrman and follows instructions, as well as those whispered from the abyss by its master. A creature of the Umbra, the spawn is the abyss in cold bestial fury, sweeping through any environment in a blur of vorpal teeth and claws. As Chester Behrman walks the path of Chronozon, he has become aware of the larger struggle between the awakening gods of old and their mortal pawns. This shadow war is fought not between armies and nations like the conflicts of man, but as something more subtle and insidious. In such a struggle for supremacy, how can the erudite servants of Chronozon fail? Dear listener, we've reached the end of today's episode. Together we had a glimpse into the mythos and met new protagonists in the Shadow War. If you want to learn more, stay tuned for the next episode where we venture deeper into the unknown. For he who passes the gateways always wins a shadow, and never again can he be alone. H.P. Lovecraft.